Good evening. This is CTV News for March 5th. I'm Gina Barty.
And I'm Patricia Malone. Thank you for joining us tonight. And topping our news, a grand jury indicts a former Prince George's County police officer.
Michael Owens is accused of shooting a man to death while in custody with his hands cuffed behind his back. Byron Scott has our story.
The incident occurred January 27th of this year. Former Prince George's police officer Michael Owens pulled over William Green in Temple Hills for allegedly driving erratically and striking some cars. It was while Green was in custody and in handcuffs in Owens' police cruiser that the officer allegedly shot him several times, killing him. The state's attorney held a press conference today. Here's some of what she had to say.
Today, we presented our evidence to a grand jury, and the grand jury returned an indictment charging Corporal Owen with second-degree murder, manslaughter, first-degree assault, use of a handgun, and misconduct in office. We know that every defendant, including Corporal Owen, is innocent until proven guilty, beyond a reasonable doubt. I believe that there had been some question around whether or not Mr. Green had PCP in his system. We are waiting for the final toxicology report. However, preliminary information that we've received indicate that Mr. Green did in fact have PCP in his system.
Brave Boy says her office is reviewing a 2011 shooting death involving Owens, as well as a 2016 incident where he allegedly choked a woman. At the courthouse, Byron Scott, CTV News.
Thank you, Byron. And then there were two. The Democratic fight to the Oval Office is now a two-man race as Senator Elizabeth Warren ends her 2020 presidential bid. She made the announcement this afternoon alongside her husband in Massachusetts. It comes on the heels of a devastating loss on Super Tuesday when she only collected about 50 delegates. With Warren's departure, the top two Democratic candidates are former Vice President Joe Biden and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Warren has not made a decision as she will endorse a candidate. Meantime, Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks officially backs former Vice President Joe Biden in his 2020 presidential bid. Alsobrooks announced her endorsement for Biden this morning, saying his strong leadership is what the country needs. She credits Biden for supporting the Violence Against Women Act, which helped victims she represented during her 8 years tenure as top prosecutor. Her endorsement comes on the brink of Biden's increased momentum in the Democratic presidential race after winning 10 states on Super Tuesday.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer receives major backlash from Republicans for his comments about Justices Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch. At a rally outside of the Supreme Court, Schumer said that the justices, quote, won't know what hit them and would pay the price if they vote against abortion rights. Chief Justice John Roberts called the remarks inappropriate and dangerous. Schumer has since commented, saying the words didn't come out the way he intended and they were in no way meant to be a threat. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell isn't buying it, blasting Schumer this morning on the Senate floor.
At the very best, his comments were astonishingly reckless and completely irresponsible. And clearly, as the Chief Justice stated in a rare and extraordinary rebuke, they were, quote, dangerous, end quote.
Now, I should not have used the words I used yesterday. They didn't come out the way I intended to. My point was that there would be political consequences for President Trump and Senate Republicans if the Supreme Court, with the newly confirmed justices, stripped away a woman's right to choose.
And this all stems from the Supreme Court hearing on an abortion-related Louisiana law. Maryland Comptroller Peter Franchot blocks the processing of electronic tax returns from 21 suspicious tax preparers. The suspensions are due to a large amount of questionable returns. Those preparers were from 22 locations across the state. Of those, 10 are in Prince George's, including JL Tax Services in Temple Hills, Yadoff Financial Solution in Lanham, and TWA Financial Network in College Park. For the complete list, you can go to marylandtaxes.gov.